Imagine a world where summer never ends, where cities are submerged, and where storms are the norm. Does that sound like a dystopian novel? Perhaps, but could it be our reality? Absolutely. In a nutshell, that's climate change for you. It's like a slow-motion train wreck that we've all bought tickets to. It's not some far-off distant threat. It's happening right here, right now. But what exactly is it? Let's break it down. When we talk about climate change, we're referring to the long-term shifts and alterations in temperature and typical weather patterns on our planet. It's as if Mother Earth has a fever, and she's been trying to tell us about it for years. Think of it like this. Imagine baking a cake. You've measured out all your ingredients perfectly, set the oven at the right temperature, and you're all set for a delicious dessert. But then someone cranks up the oven temperature. Your cake starts to burn, the kitchen fills with smoke, and your perfect dessert is now a charred mess. That's what we're doing to our planet. We've cranked up the heat, and now we're starting to see and feel the effects. The signs are everywhere. Glaciers are melting at an unprecedented rate. Sea levels are rising, and extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and severe. It's not just about hotter summers and milder winters. It's about disruption, displacement, and a world that's out of balance. And the most alarming part? We're responsible. Our actions, our lifestyles, our relentless pursuit of economic growth at all costs have all contributed to this global crisis. We've upset the balance of the natural world, and it's fighting back. So why should we care? Because this is our home. It's the only one we've got. And if we don't take action now, we risk losing it forever. So, now that we've set the stage, let's delve deeper into the climate disasters that have been caused by global warming. Hurricanes, wildfires, droughts, floods. Sounds like a disaster movie, doesn't it? But unfortunately, these are far from fiction. Let's start with hurricanes. These massive storm systems are becoming a common headline in our lives. With global warming, the oceans are heating up, providing the perfect breeding ground for these swirling behemoths. Their frequency and intensity are on the rise, leaving devastation in their wake. Then we have wildfires. These are not the campfires that we sit around roasting marshmallows. No, these are raging infernos that consume everything in their path. And what's fueling them? Well, increased temperatures and prolonged dry periods caused by, you guessed it, global warming. Now let's talk about droughts. These aren't just about not having enough water for your morning shower. Droughts have far-reaching effects. They jeopardize our food supply as crops wither in the fields. They disrupt ecosystems, causing wildlife to suffer, and they are becoming more frequent and severe as our planet heats up. And finally, there are floods. Imagine the water in your bathtub overflowing, but on a much, much larger scale. These are not just inconveniences that make your commute to work a little longer. Floods destroy homes, ruin crops, and can even claim lives. With the melting of polar ice caps and rising sea levels, floods are becoming an all-too-common disaster. These weather events are not isolated incidents. They are interconnected, each one influencing and being influenced by the others. They are the wrath of weather unleashed by our own actions. But all is not lost. We are not helpless spectators in this disaster movie. We have the power to change the script. We can reduce our carbon footprint, conserve water, plant more trees, and use renewable energy. As daunting as these disasters are, there are solutions. Solutions that we can all contribute to. You might be wondering, what can I do? I'm just one person. But remember, every superhero story starts with just one person wanting to make a difference. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about. You, yes, you can be an everyday hero, helping to reduce climate disasters, one small action at a time. It doesn't require a cape or superpowers, just a little bit of knowledge and a willingness to act. Let's start with something as simple as turning off the lights when you're not using them. It's a small gesture, but if everyone did it, we could significantly reduce our energy consumption. That's a big win for our planet. And what about the food we eat? By choosing more plant-based meals, we can reduce the demand for meat, which is one of the biggest contributors to greenhouse gas emissions. Don't worry, you don't have to become a full-fledged vegetarian. Even just one meatless meal a week can make a difference. Recycling and composting are other powerful tools in our arsenal. By recycling, we reduce the need for new materials, saving natural resources. Composting, on the other hand, returns nutrients to the soil, reducing the need for chemical fertilizers and helping plants grow. And let's not forget about transportation. Walking, cycling, or taking public transport instead of driving can drastically reduce your carbon footprint. And when you need to drive, consider carpooling or using a fuel-efficient vehicle. But being an everyday hero isn't just about what you do, it's also about spreading the word. Talk to your friends, family, and neighbors about climate change. Encourage them to take action too. Together, we can create a ripple effect that reaches far and wide. So you see, you don't have to be a superhero to make a difference. You just have to be willing to take action, to make choices that, while they may seem small, can add up to big changes when we all do our part. Each of us has the power to make a difference, but we're not alone in this fight. Every year, the world comes together to fight climate change in a global event known as the Conference of the Parties, or COP. This year marks the 28th conference, and its importance cannot be overstated. Welcome to COP28, a pivotal moment in our ongoing battle against climate change. COP, if you're not familiar, stands for Conference of the Parties. It's the annual meeting of the countries that have signed onto the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. The goal? To assess progress, set targets, and coordinate efforts in the fight against climate change. One might wonder, why is this 28th conference so significant? Well, each COP is a stepping stone, building on the successes and lessons of the previous ones. But COP28 stands out because it comes at a time when we're feeling the effects of climate change more palpably than ever. Wildfires, floods, heat waves, the wrath of weather is upon us, and the need for action has never been more urgent. This year, the goals of COP28 are ambitious, as they should be. The focus is on accelerating action, on ramping up the commitments made by countries to reduce their carbon emissions, and on fostering international cooperation. It's not just about governments making promises, though. It's about businesses, cities, regions, and individuals all stepping up to do their part. COP28 is also about justice. It's about making sure that the transition to a cleaner, greener world is a fair one. That those who have done the least to cause climate change aren't the ones who suffer the most from its effects. It's about ensuring that the benefits of a sustainable future are shared by all. But COP28 isn't just a meeting, it's a symbol. It's a reminder that we're all in this together, that the fight against climate change is a global effort, and that each one of us has a role to play. We're on a journey, and COP28 is an important milestone on that journey. The fight against climate change is a global effort, and together we can turn the tide. Now that we've explored the climate disasters, the solutions, and the importance of global cooperation, it's time for us to take action. As we stand on the precipice of a future shaped by climate change, we must remember that our actions today will echo in the landscapes of tomorrow. Each choice we make, each step we take, no matter how insignificant it may seem, contributes to a larger tapestry of change. Our planet is a masterpiece of interconnected ecosystems, and just like a masterpiece, every stroke matters. Think about it. Each time you opt for a bicycle over a car, each time you choose a reusable bag over a plastic one, each time you grow a plant or turn off an unused light, you're contributing to a greener future. These actions may seem small, but they add up. They ripple out, influencing others, inspiring change on a larger scale. But it's not just about individual actions, it's about rallying together, about collective responsibility. It's about communities coming together to plant trees, to clean up beaches, to advocate for renewable energy. It's about cities and countries setting ambitious goals to reduce carbon emissions and then striving to meet them. We've seen what can happen when we unite for a common cause. We've seen the power of collective action during the annual global climate event, COP28. The world came together not just to discuss, but to act, to make decisions that will shape our future, to choose a path that leads to sustainability and resilience. This is our call to action, a call to every individual, every community, every nation, a call to step up, to make a difference, to shape our future. This is not a battle we can win alone, but together we can turn the tide. We can build a future where our planet thrives, where our ecosystems flourish, where our children can live in a world that is sustainable and safe. So the question isn't can we change, but will we? The choice, as always, is ours.